going, everyone? Welcome to the More Defined podcast. I'm your host, James Chatmon Jr. And today we have Sadè, who I will let introduce herself and explain a little bit more about who she is and what she does.
Hello. Well, as you said, I am Sadè. I am also known as Chef Kai. So I am a poet and I am a chef. I'm also a creative director, and I also run a team called TheeGrooveCollective that consists of other creatives such as makeup artists, rappers, singers, poets, the whole nine yards, designers, everything, just the whole nine yards. But yeah, I'm over that group. Uh, I do. Well, what else do I do? Because I do a lot. Uh, Creative director, poet, over the Groove Collective, chef, amazing person, I guess. Just add that to the list. But yeah, in my free time, the free time I get, I write. I write poetry. I draw. I actually draw and paint a lot. A lot of people don't know that because I don't really show that side of me. I don't really post. I do it for a hobby. Like, I'm trying to make that not be something that turns into, oh, it's a hobby. Now it's work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I do.
All right, I like to start off with a check-in, kind of see how everything goes. Just 1 to 10, basically. Everything's going on in life right now, and then I can share afterwards.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10. Oh, being an adult sucks. So I'm gonna say right now, I'm at like 7. I'm at like a
That's a
7.
good. That's a good. Yeah.
I was like, I was gonna say 6, but I was like, no, okay, I woke up this morning. God got me. I'll say I'm at a 7. But adult life just be lifing sometimes. I'll say it like that. Um, but being a chef and being a poet, those are not like, they don't have any type of comparison with one another other than I talk to people. But other than that, they are like all the way on the opposite grid. So it's like I'm checking in on one side, I'm checking in on the other side at all times throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, trying to keep up with my schedule of that and keeping a personal life. So it's just, I'm grateful, like, love the opportunities and all that, but your girl is tired. Your girl is tired. Girl is tired. But I'm blessed. So, pretty good. 7.
We can take
Solid
that. I would say for me, it's like an 8. Nothing too crazy going on or anything like that, and things have been
Okay.
going well. Just overall personal life too, and work life has been going good, especially since I've been focusing on one big project at work, so I haven't had to juggle a
Where do
whole
you
lot.
work?
So I work at Centerpoint Energy. It's a utilities company. We do natural
Oh,
gas distribution.
that sounds very technical. It sounds very much like, yeah, you getting up, you going to work.
Oh, yeah,
You're
yeah.
going to work. That's cool though.
It's not.
uh
Well, from my perspective, it's not nothing too difficult in a sense, but
Okay.
it's definitely something where it's like if you don't have your P's and Q's in order, yeah, you can mess something up.
You would probably have to walk me through it like I'm 5 years old.
Yeah. I do that. Anybody that I tell them where I do that. So, yeah. But no, I'm enjoying getting back more into like doing things that I want to do, having these new experiences and stuff this year, getting back to the podcast now and things like that. Well, I've been doing it for a little bit now, but stuff like that and tapping more into my creative side as well.
So how
everything's
long
at
have
an
you had
8.
the podcast?
So this is my second iteration of a podcast. The
Okay.
first one was back in 2019, late 2019 to 2021. I mean, it was just a solo podcast. I did solo episodes or whatnot. And towards the end, I had a few guests. But this one, I've been doing it since May, late May, and everything.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, that was around my birthday. Gemini over here, by the way. Look, your viewers are gonna have something about that. They're gonna, people be talking about the Geminis like we're just the worst thing in the world.
we welcome any conversations for this podcast.
Judgment free zone. Judgment free zone.
Yeah.
Okay,
Definitely.
I love that. Love that. Love that.
All right, this is something that I ask all my guests. At what moment did you know, or did someone tell you it's a little different for you because you do a lot of different things? That you had the gift or heart for your current profession, or like some of the things that you've got into like creatively, like doing the poetry, like becoming a chef and different things of that nature.
Um, Poetry wise, it was when I did my first solo show. And I was so nervous because I've never done anything where it's like, okay, my face is on the flyer. You're coming and you're knowing, okay, I'm performing at least a 15 to 20 minute set. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, I have never done that. I've never done that in my life. Do I have enough material to cover 15 minutes? Am I going to have to just get up there and talk and ramble for a while? I didn't even know, but I was like learning I was in the process of learning the proper way to do it, but then I realized it's no proper way. Like, this is literally just me. I'm the show, so I gotta go out there and just put on a show. So after my first solo show, the feedback I got was amazing. Like, people told me they couldn't tell I was nervous. The cues I was going for were there. The emotion was there. And meanwhile, I'm in my head like I can throw up right now in front of all y'all. But everybody was telling me my vocal level was good and everything. So hearing that positive feedback, poetry, I'm always scared for my family to hear my poetry because, for when I curse in it, and sometimes it depends on the style of poetry. Because do you know what smut poetry is?
Not technically, but I've probably heard or read some of it.
Basically, poetry when you're talking about a sexual experience. Okay. So I'm always nervous about that. And the first time I sent my dad a video. He praised me so much, and I was so surprised. And then afterwards, of course, he made his jokes, but he was just like, "That was like, I didn't even know you had that in you. Like, I'm so proud of you." And hearing that and knowing like, a lot of times that I've done things in life, but it just wasn't like the I'm proud of you sort of stance. But poetry is one thing that I feel like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. That and being a chef, because with being a chef, I'm learning so much. Oh my gosh. I'm learning so much about food that I didn't know I needed to know about food. And I'm finding out more about my taste buds and different ways to cook things, different ways of trying things. Because there's been so many times I'm not a picky eater, but I'm not on the, like, I just tried oysters for the first time this year. They were okay. Yeah. I'm kind of like a texture person. Like, if it's slimy, I don't know, I'll be kind of iffy with it. But at the same time, I like calamari. So it's like, it just depends. It just depends. But I'm more so open in trying new foods as well now, being that I've been doing this for a minute. And like, just as far as feeling like I'm doing something right is when I get good critiques on my food. Even when I get bad critiques, I feel like, because it's just how you present it to me, so to say, and how you correct me, how you try to basically teach me a new way. I feel like that gives me a lot more motivation to keep going. And then it's like, okay, you're telling me this because you actually believe in me and you think I got something going for myself and I can better myself. You're not telling me this to hurt my feelings, but just genuinely to better myself. And a lot of people don't want to tell people things because they don't care if you fail.
Yeah.
So I feel like now with that and poetry, I'm at that level where I feel like, okay, people care if I fail, so maybe I got something good in me.
Yeah. How long would you say you've been a chef?
About 2.5 years now. I started learning. I worked at a retirement home before I got the job I have now with Good Guys. And when I worked at the retirement home, I was over the servers of the retirement home, but so I'm still working in the kitchen, and I'm like, I will watch and see like the head chef there, the sous chef there, cook, and I'm just like, dang, bro, like how you doing this? Like you're cooking a meal for 100-something people. I'm just running the food out, like, and this is 3 meals a day. So like just watching him and also watching the other head chef, it just made me very interested in cooking even more. And I already was interested in cooking because I was like growing up, I would be in the kitchen with my mom. I would be in the kitchen with my grandma, both of my grandmas. And one of my grandmas, she was a chef as well. So, and after she passed away, I kind of dived into it more, so to say, and really like found my soul, I guess I'll say. Like legit found my soul because I didn't even realize like how interested in food I was. I started selling plate when I worked at the retirement home, and I started getting into like actually making new foods. And okay, I'm actually pretty decent at, because I would cook for my roommate all the time, and she was basically my lab rat. But she loved every single meal I made, and I started selling plates out of my house. It was like it was a great time of my life though, because it felt like I had my own business, you know. Yeah. So that was unprofessionally. I've been doing it for 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
Hey, we gotta count that down too. Yeah.
Right. I'm still learning. So, but yeah, about 2.5 years now, almost 3.
Okay. What keeps you pushing through the obstacles that life throws at you?
Oh God, literally. Literally. I would say God, my siblings, and my friends. Definitely. Like, I have moments where, because I deal with anxiety, and I have moments where I will literally have a panic attack out of nowhere, not even know where it came from. Like, or I would just be in a daze or in my own world for so long, and then everybody's like, okay, snap back into it. Like, you can't stay there. You can't stay in that little one spot. And remembering, oh my, okay, they don't. I'm gonna switch to the other one soon. But remembering like all the times I've been through like my obstacles and going through tough times, I was able to get through that. So I kind of put myself back at that mindset as well. As like, dang, I thought I wasn't gonna get through this. I thought this was gonna be something that was so detrimental to my life that I was gonna be affected forever. I wasn't gonna get over it. I was just gonna be in a slump. But I got through it. So now, like, anytime something bad happens, I just think like, okay, man, this is hard, but like, I got through this, so maybe I can get through this too. Or I'll pray about it. I'll talk to my siblings. I'll talk to my friends about it. And most importantly, meditation, talking to myself. The biggest thing is people will say they talk to yourself, but talking to yourself also means coming to reality with yourself and being honest with yourself of like, okay, bro, like,
that's so real.
Were you at fault in this? So like, did you bring this on yourself? Like, so also that, because I think I make wiser choices now that I'm kind of in that mindset of you do it to yourself. you literally do it to yourself. But yeah, that's how I do.
Once I started to do some of those same things, I've been doing it periodically, but I got serious about it. Like after like we graduated high school and everything, and once I started to realize some of these are self-inflicted, like I started to relax a little bit more and be like, okay, I can do a lot better if I just be a little bit more thoughtful, talk to this a little bit more, pray about it more and everything, and then try to make some of these actions or moves or whatnot. So
because the
having those
words
moments
gotta match.
Having those moments of self-realization, meditating, writing it down, being like, okay, what is it that I did here? Is it good? Is it bad? Things of that nature. Like it goes a long way.
Yeah, it does. Definitely. I'm glad. Oh my gosh, is this what an adult is? Is this what it feels like? I think we're doing great.
Yeah. How have you balanced the many hats that you currently wear?
I don't. I literally just wake up and go. Like,
okay.
I've realized putting myself on a schedule and actually like making a planner and writing down my schedule for the week. Only thing I can keep up with is my budget. Like that's the only thing. But as far as like, oh, if I have the day off, there's no telling what I would do. Like today, I'm off work, so I ran errands. I started retwisting my hair. I dyed my hair. Just like you just never know. I'm gonna probably go to the workout room after this. And I don't know. I might even cook. I might even cook today. Who knows? I just don't know. But I guess like the balance in it is I enjoy everything. So like I may be tired. I may say, oh, I don't feel like going to do this. I don't feel like going to do that. But once I get myself into it and once I start actually doing it, I'm like, okay, man, I'm actually enjoying myself. Like this ain't bad. Like I know I'm gonna knock this out in like 4 hours or so. Like depending on what it is, like I know I'm gonna knock it out. And as far as like I said, I talk to myself a lot. So when it comes to that balance of just keeping myself calm when I'm overwhelmed or anything with everything I do, like I try. One thing I will say is I do have a problem sometimes with overbooking, where I will book something and then not realizing the time runs into this other time, or I don't have time in between to either go eat or catch a power nap or do this or do that. Yeah. So the balance comes into me talking to myself once again, telling myself, calm down. Like, okay, you can do this. You would not put this on yourself if you felt like you honestly could not do it. So take your time, breathe, and just go with the flow. Just see how it goes. You just never know. Just never know.
Honestly, going with the flow is one of my issues. I've gotten better, but it's one of my issues because I'm a recovering control freak.
Recovering.
I've claimed it the last 2 years. A long time I used to fight it that I wasn't a control freak, but I'm a control freak. Okay. I'm just getting better at it.
In what?
Like every. So it was worse like a couple of years ago. So like I used to be one of those people where, let's say if I want to do something with like a friend or somebody or a family member or whatever, maybe somebody who I'm like dating or something like that. And if it was up to me to like plan that little get together or whatever, like I like itineraries and I like to be really strategic because I'm very time oriented. And so I'm going to plan out a whole bunch of stuff or whatever.
I'm not mad at that because I myself make itinerary. I make the itineraries for every trip. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not.
But it's like one of the main things I don't like doing is starting things late. And so if somebody comes to something late or we meet up late or whatever, like that used to piss me off really badly. But the worst thing was if somebody didn't tell me that they were going to be late. Yeah. And so if they just came late or whatever, or act like they didn't want to give me a reason behind it, I'd be darn near didn't want to do whatever it was. But like stuff like that, little things like just the way conversations would go sometimes. Like I was super into it for and like that self-infliction stuff. I caused plenty of hiccups with people over the years. But since I've been claiming that I was a control freak and everything, I'm getting better. I've learned to like
the first step.
Yeah.
And see, I'm working on my tardiness right now. Like like the last meeting I had with the Groove. We're talking and going over things like everybody needs to work on, and I must have said that time management, and the whole room looked at me like, oh, okay, time management, okay, president, time management, we're talking about time management. You were late for the meeting. So I'm working real hard on my tardiness right now, because I don't know what I don't for the life of me know what it is. I'm always late. I can literally get ready hours before. It's gonna be something that happens right before I walk out the door, and I'm like, okay, no, I can't go out like this. I can't. Now I just like it's gotten to the point. I just tell my friends, don't even wait on me. I'll just Uber. I'll just Uber there. I'll meet y'all there, like please, because at this point, I don't. I'm now. I'm getting overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Because I can't rush myself. I can't.
Even little things like quickly, like if I wanted to go somewhere, like do something, and if it like rained or whatnot, like I'd be upset about that because it might not let me do it. Like
You
me and the rain did
know
not
the
have a good
weather.
relationship. That's how I used to be. That's how I used to be. But now I try to remind myself, just go with the flow, take it easy. You know, something's just happen.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. And then other times, you know, I can't control the situation, and so I gotta release it.
You can't be mad at things that are out of your control. Well, you can't,
So
but you should try not to.
yeah. It's been a journey. Like that's probably one of the main things I pray about. Like
it goes with patience, so I definitely understand that because I pray for patience every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
So, were you born and raised in Mississippi?
Uh, no.
Okay.
No, but yes. Like I have lived down here now more years than I did in Georgia. I originally was in Georgia from till I was in third grade. Then I came to Mississippi going to fourth grade. Moved back to Georgia going to ninth grade. Came back to Mississippi going to 10th grade. Then moved to Hattiesburg, Mississippi to go to college. Came back. I want to say I've been back in Ridgeland for 2 years now. So kind of a little bit all over the place, and along with growing up, spending summers either in Mississippi or Chicago. So a little bit of everywhere, but I'm breaded here. I guess I'll say that.
Yeah.
Like this Mississippi, Mississippi's home.
Okay. Yeah. What have been some of those things that you feel like has kind of kept you here at home and
Oh, my friend.
kept you from not leaving quite yet?
My friends and comfortability, because literally, like when it's funny because whenever I tell people that, they're just like, "Oh, you made the wrong decision." But when I moved back to Mississippi the second time, I have 3 siblings. So my oldest brother, he already lives down here. But when we moved back to Mississippi, my mom gave us the option to stay in Georgia, and I was the only one who came back with her because I missed my friends. My brother, he was 16. I was 14. But no, when I came back, he was 17 and I was 15. So he was like about to become a senior in college, not in college, in high school. So he was like, okay, I want to go to school in Georgia anyway, so I'm going to stay down here. My sister, she's 10 years older than me. So she's like, yeah, I'm not going back to Mississippi. Like, I'm definitely staying here. So I was the only one that came back. And I came back because I missed my friends so much, and I was just I wasn't happy in Georgia at all. Like, but it was just at a time that, like, the year when I moved down there, I was in the mindset of, I'm not going to make friends. I'm not about to make friends. I'm not about to talk to people. And it's like, girl, you're being dramatic because you used to live here.
Yeah.
And you know people down there. So, like, when I went to high school, I already knew people, and I'm like, okay, so much for that, but I still was in that mindset of like, no, I don't want to be here. And then like when I would come back and visit my friends in Mississippi, I would cry my eyes out the whole entire ride back home. I'm just like, oh man. And as far as like comfortability is just, I know everything. I know everything. I know the surrounding. I know the area. I know the people. I know the events. I know the type of things that go on. Like, it's just, I'm used to it. But I know I would say that if I got used to any other place or if I went any other place. But that's probably the biggest thing that's keeping me. And the older I get, it's not even, I feel like it's not friends anymore because all my friends are like, we're all getting older and they're venturing out, doing stuff on their own and going out of state for work and amongst just moving in general. So it's more so now it's just comfortability. And I actually like the place where I'm at right now. Granted, if I could move, I would. But in this economy right now,
Yeah.
You gotta kind of just, you don't have to stay comfortable. Never stay comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
but do what works for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is working for me.
I don't blame you on that one. Do not blame you. All right. Growing in value. GIV
Oh,
Studios.
you did research. Oh, that's so
uh,
funny because I was thinking about wearing a hoodie too today on the interview. I should have.
LOL. Where did that idea come from? And when did you first open up the studio?
Um, whew. Man, okay. 2017. 2017, I started drawing on clothes most of the time, and I like since I was like 12, I've been ripping up jeans, drawing on pants, all that stuff. So like when I in 2017 was when I started like making clothing for my friends. So I'm making clothing for my friends. They're wearing it, and it was a party that me and my friend, I want to say, I can't remember which sister it did. So it was either Dear or Destiny, or it might have been both of them. But I made them. No, it was Destiny because I made her some fire shorts, and I had a shirt on that said "Groovy" on it. And I had made the shirt, and it was like dripping groovy. You know, just like yeah, I can see your picture, put it in a little pennant or something. But that was the first ever shirt, and I just remember this guy named Quez, he was at the party and he was like complimenting our outfits, and my friend was like, well, she made it. And then he was like, oh, that's hard, like da da da. You should sell clothes, like really, like you should make clothes for men too, like not just for girls. And I'm like, you really think I could sell clothes? I remember the conversation like it was yesterday. We're standing by a pool, and he was like, I'm serious, like you can make that and you can call it groovy. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. I said, okay. And the next day, I'm talking to my friend. I'm like, you think I can sell clothes for real? And she was like, yes. Like, what do you mean? Yes. Like, anybody can do it. Yes. So I started working on more pieces. I started doing more ideas. And it really was just t-shirts and jeans at first. And then it turned into t-shirts, jeans, hoodies, crop tops, sweat sets, all of that, just like the whole 9 yards. And I kind of drifted away from it because I wanted it to be even more original pieces. Because I feel like everybody started coming out with t-shirts, hoodies, and all that, and just kind of became generic a little bit to me. Because it didn't feel as like I was being original, so to say, anymore. Like, yes, my brand is original, but at the same time, I'm selling the same stuff, just putting my logo on it that these other people are doing. So I've kind of stepped away from it in the past. I want to say 2 years. You don't really year and a half, because I have a collection actually that I'm working on for Valentine's of next year to release. And oh, look at you! You just got some. I ain't put that out into the world yet. But yeah, you just
That's
got
what
an
we want
exclusive.
here. That's what we want.
I'm getting back into the fashion world next year. Um, and I have a bunch of original pieces that I want to release instead of just being a t-shirt hoodie person. I did say I was gonna when fall comes around this year though, I'm gonna get back into the hoodies and whatnot, because I do actually like doing
Okay.
shirts and the jeans. They just don't feel but the hoodies actually feel like, because the hoodies were always my top sellers. So I feel like those were the more those and jeans is what people connect more with as far as originality, because with the jeans, you know, it could either be a custom or it could be whatever I make, whatever I put on there. And like, you know, as I said, nobody else has this pair of jeans that you got. But yeah, I did that in 2017, and I just literally kept going with it. Now I've always kind of been a person where it's like a person tells me like, man, you could do this, and I'm like, I could. Let me try it. Let me just go try it. See if I can really do it. And if I can make money off of it, even better. Like, but 2017, yep, 2017, and then like 2018 was when I bought my heat press and started really getting into doing it my own and not just by hand. Because at first I was doing it by hand and I was painting on everything, drawing on everything, and I'm like, girl, you can't keep doing this. Like it was nice. I'm up to 3, 4 in the morning just drawing. I had put a table in my room. and I'm in front of my TV just watching TV, drawing on these pair of pants right now, ripping them up and everything. And from then, it was just like, okay, do it. Just keep doing it. And it also depended on the crowd, I'll say, so to say, that I had, because like 2017, 2018, I was in high school, so it was easier to sell. Going to college, it was easier to sell because people want to support you. People want to like, oh, da, da, da. But then when it came down to, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not in high school anymore. I'm not in college no more. And I'm like, dang, I'm still doing good with this, because at this point I've been consistent with it. So that's another reason. Like every time I've taken a break, and I'll be like, okay, I'm coming back. And now I want to be in the fashion world again. I want to sell clothes again. I get walking back with open arms, and it's like, okay, it's like I never left, so to say. Like it's crazy sometimes to know the support that you have behind you, and the support is what will keep you going.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, 2017. Dang, what year is it? It's 2024.
Yeah, it's 24.
God,
I gotta remind myself every
7
so often too.
years. 7 years. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
So, how's that tie into when you got into like doing the studio work and being a creative director?
You said how did what?
How did that tie into like GIV Studios and you being a creative director?
Cause okay, so I was doing a lot of photo shoots with my brand, and then I'm like, okay, but there's other photo ideas I want to do, and like I would help. I started working with this photographer named Trail, and he used to help shoot some of my I was planning a fashion show once before, and he did my model shoots, and then he asked me sometimes to help him with photo shoots, and then I'm like, okay, I'm helping with photo shoots. I'm kind of planning my own photo shoots. Let me see what I can do as far as creative directory. So I started doing my own group shoots, like planning full out group shoots. I did a Matrix shoot, a Black History Month shoot, God and Goddesses shoot, just basically going off of my own ideas in my head, and it turned into, okay, now people that I introduced Trail to, or Trail introduced me to, they're using us for their own separate projects, and like it's just you know how it becomes full circle basically. Like, okay, I helped you at this photo shoot, and now this person reached out to me saying, can you help me with this? Can you help me with this? And it just all kind of fell into place, so to say, because I already had my clothing brand, and I knew I wanted to make my clothing brand a company in general. And when it came down to like GIV Studios, it's like I want that to be even more than what it is. Like there's so much that I want, and I'm gonna get for like all of this, but growing in value. I'm steady growing. And I want people to know when they come to me that they're steady growing. They're growing in this world. You don't have to. You don't have to be at this fast pace just because everybody else is doing this and doing that. We're all growing every single day. Like we're doing our best to grow. So my brand and the studios all just is like me being big on self growth and being big on having your own pace, doing things at your own pace, not doing it because other people want you to do it, but because you actually have a passion for it. And that's why, like, with everything I do, I can pick it up again. I can put it down if I want to. I can pick it back up because, like I said, the support is there. But if I'm not feeling it, then I'm not going to give my best work for it either. So it all just ties into like, man, what area do I want to grow in right now? I'll say it like that. Yeah,
I got you. I'm glad you gave that exclusive though, because I remember, I think might have been right before we got out of high school. Started seeing your clothing brand and everything. And I was like, who is doing this or whatever? And then when I found that it was you, I was like, I gotta buy me something at some point.
No.
And I just kept putting it off because I'm money conscious and I like to save money a little bit or whatnot. And so I was like, I'm gonna buy something at some point. And so I saw a lot of your drops and everything. And then when you hit that pause, I was like, no, like this is the moment I would have bought something. And then you came back with that last collection. I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy something. Yeah. and then I didn't do like something came up where I had to do something else. I had to use that money. I was like, oh my gosh. And it's like the fact that you haven't been doing it now, I was like, I'm gonna say something to her at some moment, like, you need to get back to this so I can get something. Everybody else can be whatever, but I wanted to get something.
It's funny. It's funny because a lot of people, and I think I actually liked being like this. A lot of people didn't know that the brand was mine. Because I like even when I would never forget this one time, because this was the one time I was like oh, I feel famous. Because I used to work at, when I lived in Hattiesburg and I was in college, I used to work at a thrift store. So it was one day I had on an orange OG hoodie, and this hoodie was one of the very first hoodies ever dropped.
Yeah.
So this girl, she came into the thrift shop, and she's walking through the thrift shop, and she was like, oh, I have that same hoodie. She was like, I just love that brand. And I said, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. And then she was like, no problem. She was like, what other colors do you have? I said, I have all the colors. And then she was like, you bought all of them? And she was like, girl, you got money. And then I said, no, it's my brand. And then she was like, that's you. She was like, you're groovy. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh my God, I love you. And she was like, I didn't know you lived here. Da, 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 da. And I was just like, oh wow. Like I'm over here inside, like you're fangirling, but I'm over here like I want to fangirl right now because you're amping me up. But like stuff like that makes me it makes me want to get back into it, remembering times like that as well. And then with times like that, I do like kind of people not knowing that it's me. Kind of like, because when I get that reaction, I feel like I get more of like the raw reactions and more like, okay, you might show me some criticism.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm just selfish in that way because I was like, I got to get
something. You're gonna get something. You're gonna get something. Look, this fall, this winter, you're gonna get something.
Oh, for sure. Okay, poetry and spoken word. What led you to choose this as one of your creative outlets?
Okay, I write my feelings out. I don't. Growing up, I did not talk about my feelings like that. It was very much so of a.
I wear my feelings on my sleeve.
Yeah. you said you wear your feelings on your sleeve.
All the time. Like
I very much was keeping it in. So the only way I would talk about it was if I wrote. So like I've been writing poetry. I've been like my oldest thing in my phone is from 2012.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been writing for a very long time. Basically probably before I was 12. Like I have a. This is so embarrassing. I have a book from when I was like 10, 11, maybe, with random songs in it. Let's call it a sense of poetry, though.
Yeah.
But going back and looking, I'm just like, what were you going through at such a young age, girl? I'm like, dang, you were a little sad. And then it's like random happy songs. So it's just like, okay, you just been doing this. Like you just been putting feelings out just any type of way. So
that's your origin story.
My origin story, basically. I'm doing everything for the plot at this point. So basically just because I didn't have a way to an outlet, became my outlet to write my feelings down. And so it came down to like me saying my poetry out loud to my friends. Like I probably did not 2018, 2018 is the very first time I started speaking my poetry out loud to my friends. And 2023 is when I started performing last year. So
okay.
Yeah, dang. I don't know why it feels longer.
I've been following your poetry page, I think since you started it, actually. Because I remember you posting some of it on your personal page, and then like you transitioned to getting an actual page for it.
Trying to get the traction over there.
But I'll definitely in the description and stuff. I'll have all of that stuff posted. So
Okay,
if people want to get into that, they'll get
bet.
there.
Yes.
As you mentioned earlier, president of the Groove Collective.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the inception of how you came to creating this.
Man, okay. So also since like I want to say since 2019 or 2020,
Mm,
I've been wanting to do a fashion show. And it came from me watching and seeing Noble's plan a fashion show, then put on a fashion show, put on pop-up shops, put up other events. And I was like,
mm,
dang, bro, she is doing so much. And it's like the what the creative world is now, oh, they would have appreciated her way more back then. Just off of like everything that she like, because I really feel like Alexis was ahead of her time for the stuff that she was
mm,
doing. And I was like, man, I want to do this, but then like I've tried so long doing everything by myself, and especially like with my clothing brand, that was another reason why I kept taking breaks with my clothing brand because I'm doing it by myself. I'm going to have to go mail everything. I'm making the shirts. I'm
yeah.
making pants. Everything is by my hands, basically. And when I'm talking about the fashion show, I'm talking about it to my best friend Destiny. She's my vice president. I'm talking to her about just wanting to do a fashion show, and she went to Alexis Noble's fashion show with me, and so we saw how that was at the Galleria. We had saw how that was, and like we just kind of took that in. And after that, we kept talking about it, and I kept saying like, I really want to do a fashion show. So I started looking into the resources of a fashion show, deciding like what exactly I want my fashion show to be, and the theme is flowers basically. But the year I moved back home in 2022, when I moved back home in 2022, I had this like picnic barbecue day with my friends, and we're all just sitting around talking, and I'm like, man, like I really want to do this, y'all. Like I really need help. I really want to do something, and actually stop just talking about it, but actually do it.
Yeah.
And so talking with them, I was like, man, we all do something creative, and then we were like, we
Mm,
just need to go see. We need to really do more research. So it came to, we started having meetings, and we started going to open mics. We started going to more social events. Any event that was going on in Jackson, Ridgeland, in the area in general, we were going to, just to see how they do things, how they network, and how we can stay connected in the community, so to say. So it became official when I'm like, okay, let's make the page, like let's make the Instagram, let's do this, let's do that. And everybody's like, okay, like we need the Cash App, we need the Facebook, we need the Twitter, we need everything. I'm like, okay, y'all serious too? Bet. Like, with having something that you feel like is your baby, you're so scared
mm,
to trust people with it, and like, okay, yeah, it all sounds good that we're all gonna do this
yeah.
together, yay! But are we? So when it came down to like the very first real meeting, we're talking about like everything we can do. We're talking about events we could do, and we probably scouted for like a year
Mm,
before we threw our first event.
okay. Okay.
We
Yeah.
were going
Yeah.
to we were just networking for one, networking, trying to see how events go, and trying to see what type of events we want to have, so to say. And our very first event was KG's release party. And
Mm,
after that, we kind of just kept the ball rolling. After that, it was the what did we do? We had the Lovers and Friends show. We had the Lovers and Friends show in February, and then we had the Rap Cipher, and
mm,
and then we also had the Spring Fling Mixer. So the release party, we were like, after the release party, we were like, okay, we had our first event. We see how it went. We know what to do and what to not do. Our next event, the Lovers and Friends, it was like, dang, okay, we actually had we not. It's not that we're doing anything wrong. We just didn't have the space. Like we didn't
mm,
expect it to be as big as we thought it would be, and for it to have been that big, we were all just like astonished, really. So it became to the point where we're like, okay, y'all, like, hey, this real, like, lock in, like, okay, like,
yeah.
and we were telling ourselves for so long we can't do anything without a name yet. So it was like we just all brainstorming, and we kept brainstorming the name. And KG one day at a meeting was just like, why not just be called the Groove Collective? because Groovy is you and we're a collective. And we were always like, we looked, at first we were like, I was like, and I was like, I like it. I was like, I like it. We can do, that's what we can do. But it was so like, like, I don't know if that really makes it more of a individuality thing, or if that puts it like back on my brand. So we told once, like, after talking about it, we're like, nah, because all in all, this is my baby, but this is also y'all baby. This y'all stepchild. So y'all, we are a collective, but this is the groove. It's based on the groove. I'll say it like that. Everything started with with GRMVY. Everything started with that. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now without the groove. So I feel like once we found our name, that kind of set our foundation, and that made us feel more real, so to say, like a real group, and just planning, staying consistent. Really. Planning and staying consistent. Love them people. Love them folks. My dogs.
One thing that you mentioned, the fact that y'all been like scouting for a year and networking and going to different events and everything, I feel like that's major, because I know the big thing now is like just start. But when it's something like this and you want to be very intentional about it, put in that time and work in to actually figure out, okay, all the logistics for what you need.
And we didn't want it to make it. We didn't want to come out and then like, okay, support me. Yeah, we're really big on community and on like family and whatnot. So we have to gain connections. You have to go out there and actually do the work. You can't just off of, okay, you got this or you got that. You bring this to the table. All for people to support you just because certain events have certain things. Like, you got to do it. People gonna come support you based off of the relationship that you have and you build with them. So off of that, and then also off of the talent that you have in you as well. So like when I'm saying like scouting it, it's like we're looking at venues, we're looking at hosts, we're looking at singers, rappers, models, everything, because we're still planning the fashion show for next year. So we're looking at all this information while we're scouting, and along with looking at how other artists perform before we go on to perform. Before we get on this stage, let me see what you do. So kind of, get my nerves out, know what type of audience I'm hitting on and everything. And that would always be another thing too. Like some, like me and Destiny, I know we're two who always have, KG as well, will always have something else in the bag, because we don't never try to go on the beginning of an event. We try to throw ourselves in the middle, or we try to go on at the end. So with that, it's like, okay, let me catch the vibe. Let me see what these poets, these rappers, and these other singers are about to do. Then let me see what I need to hit y'all with, because I don't need to come on here with something sad or with something comedic and y'all on some love romantic stuff tonight or something like that. I need to fit the vibe. Oh yeah.
I love that. Definitely been supporting, especially since I went to my first event, the spring.
I was so surprised and happy to see you. I don't even think you understand. Like I was so surprised, and I was like, no, that's real. It was really good to see you, though. I'm glad you came.
I'm glad. Thank you. It's one of those things, like I said in the beginning, trying to get new experiences, things of that nature. It was one of those things where like I need to step out a little bit more, because with me getting back to my creative side, I need to see kind of how things operate.
I'm just gonna grab.
Haven't got to that point yet. That's like, okay, we can talk about that later. But
you're like, okay, I said I'm stepping out there, but I'm not stepping out there.
But no, I do want to eventually show that I can sing and stuff like that. But it's a matter of me figuring out my lane with it. When I was a kid, like I wanted to do a billion things like other kids, and one of those was like be a singer. But I didn't want to be super famous. I just wanted to be known.
You just wanted enough. You want Gotcha. I used to sing Mariah Carey, "We Belong Together" around my house. That was my go-to. So I sang completely. I thought I was gonna be a singer.
Hey, like some of those things though that I thought about over the years, I was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna do all these things. I just got to figure out how to make them all come
Yeah.
together. I'm getting to that point now where it's like, okay, like I'm an engineer now. We're not, even though I'm a transition to get out of engineering. Not that I don't love it anymore, but because I want to focus on other things. But I want to get into my creative bag more and do all the different things I want to do with that. Or like being a music artist in a sense, writing because I do a good bit of writing. Get into videography and stuff. So it's a lot of things. But
listening ear right here. I'm always free. Well, I'm not. My phone is always free. My phone is always free.
But no, yeah, I'm baby steps for me basically. But I'm just very strategic about it as well. So
got you. So I ain't gonna rush you. You know, never peer pressure the artist, but the world waiting. And I'm the world.
It's a lot more than you actually. It's a lot more than you.
Look, that's the main character syndrome I be telling people about. Main character syndrome is so real.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, and mine be real. Like, sometimes it be real.
Getting back to the TheeGrooveCollective though, what's been the most rewarding part so far?
The most rewarding part would honestly be seeing true identities. Because it's like you think you would know a person, and then like they will either wow you or they may disappoint you. It's just like I love learning something new and getting a new mindset, because sometimes you can't just hold something on somebody because you have to put yourself into their shoes or think about how they acted. But also seeing how sometimes people can separate personal and professionalism.
Yeah.
And that is something major actually. And like I feel like most of the time people are like the praise. No, it's not even the praise. I like knowing the truth. I like knowing everything that is going on, whether you think I'm gonna like it, whether you think I'm gonna hate it, whatever it is. Whenever someone comes to me and is just brutally honest with me, I love that. Please. I don't even care if you hurt my feelings. I need to see this. I need to be put into, because I feel like sometimes anytime that something is told to me, or I feel like a different identity is shown in somebody, it's for me to sit down and have a different view. Because maybe I'm not a person who is ever like, you're wrong, I'm right. I'm always just like, okay, I might be right, I might be wrong, but regardless, we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
So just being able to talk more about things and learn my friends, learn my people, learn the community more, and actually learn true identities. That's very rewarding, because I'm also looking from afar sometimes. And some of these people I didn't even know, and I wouldn't have known unless I stepped into that community. Unless I stepped into the creative world, I wouldn't have even known what they were like for real. I would just still be like, oh, damn, they just seem really cool. Like, or they just seem like, and it's even some people that I thought were assholes, but they turned out to be very cool and genuine people. It's just never. I've never been a person to judge a book by its cover, but you know, in the creative world, it can get nerve wracking to try to like stay up to par with who you're around, and to know like, okay, like, should I introduce myself? Should I be like, hey, I follow you on Instagram, or is that too like fan?
I've been going through that. I've been going through that heavy lately.
Like, I had to learn. They may be thinking the same thing, like the exact same thing. Like you just never know. Like, and it's sometimes people. I'll find myself looking at people looking at me, and they're just like, I just didn't know if that was you or not, and I didn't want to be wrong. And same for me, or I didn't know how to pronounce your name, like stuff like that, because it's been it's been so much. It happens to me, and then it's like it's this one girl for sure. She tells me her name every single time that she sees me, and I can't remember it for the life. I can't even remember it right now, but I just know every time I see her, she looks at me. I'm like, "Hey, girl," and she'll be like, "Hey, Sadè," and then we'll start talking, and then like either at the end of the conversation or somewhere in the middle of the conversation, she'll be like, it's so and so, by the way. And
I think she knows now.
yes, most of the time she
Like,
throws it in at the end of the conversation, and I'm just like,
mm,
oh man, I knew that. I was gonna say your name. This whole time it be on the tip of my tongue, and then she's just like, you weren't, but it's okay. I know our relationship. I'm like, as long as you know, as long as you know.
yeah, yeah. Oh man. So, what's coming up for you in the near future? Anything poetry wise, or doing anything big with as you being a chef, as you mentioned earlier, or anything Groove Collective wise too?
Well, the Groove Collective, we're gonna have a poetry slam pretty soon within the next 3 months. We're still deciding between August or October. So no, we're deciding between September or October. So once I have the details on that, I will definitely shoot that your way. In August, I have a show. I'm doing a birthday party at Mike Town Comedy Club for a girl named Sam. I'm doing poetry. It's me and I think two other poets, and the theme for that night is like Sam loves poetry birthday bash, something like that.
Mm.
So I'm gonna be performing there. I might perform at the workout room tonight. If I go, I don't know. I'm still trying to debate because I didn't finish my hair, and I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry right now. So I'm still trying to decide what I'm gonna do. What else? Oh, August 24th, I'm gonna be featured in an exhibit. What's it called? It's by this girl name. I think her name is Jalen or Jelani. Something. It's spelled Jailen, but it's gonna be in Terry, Mississippi. And I'm still debating if I'm going to be physically there, but I'll have 5 pieces featured in the exhibit. So yeah, I got that. I got the birthday thing August 15th. Then I got the exhibit August 24th. And as far as the Groove, October, and we're also going to throw a party in December because that'll be our 1 year anniversary.
Mm.
So you are definitely invited and welcome.
Thank you. All right, we're hitting the home stretch now. This last segment is just some questions to make your brain roll a little bit,
Okay.
but also have a little bit of fun.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one, you're a chef.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the good guys. I know you mentioned them earlier. Do you like cooking one of your go-tos or trying a new dish more?
Ooh, definitely a new dish. I like to challenge myself.
Mm.
I love challenging myself. Oh, I get on Instagram probably every week, and I'm like, okay, y'all, what should I cook? And don't give me nothing easy. Like somebody gave me a salmon Wellington the other day, and I was like, okay, never heard of that. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. And see, like my go-to thing to make, I. It's hard. No, it's definitely learning. It's definitely learning new dishes. My go-to thing to make is pasta. So, because I love making pasta. I make my pasta sauce from scratch. So, and that's like with any pasta I make. And I love looking up new types of pasta. So, I guess that kind of ties into a new dish as well. Because like the last couple times I've been making pasta, it's been me looking something up or me just making something based off of my taste buds. Like the most recent one I did a sun-dried chicken pasta, and it was delicious. It was basically like a chicken spaghetti, but it was panini noodles instead, and not like chicken tetrazzini. It was chicken like pot. It was pasta. And then the time before that, I made a ricotta chicken pasta, but I put meatballs in it instead of ricotta because it was a tomato based pasta, and it just seemed like the meatballs fit more. But the ricotta was just like the ricotta whip and lemon juice, some oil, and something else, and just like topped onto the pasta. Something so simple. Like once I really got through the recipe, I was like, this was so simple. Like I'm thinking like I'm really just the plate was very nice. The way it looked because I had to whip the ricotta on, then put like just a little bit of the pasta, then dap it. So it looked really nice, really really cute. But it was just like I just made pasta. Like And I'm used to making pasta. I could have just made this pasta. But so yeah, it is definitely trying new dishes.
I got you. If you could travel back to a certain decade or year, what would it be and why?
Oh. That's a hard one because I was like, without even thinking, I was gonna say the 80s, back 70s, just because I feel like that was a time to be alive. Like that's before it was during the bull, but before the real bull, I guess so to say.
Yeah.
Like when the 90s hit, the 90s was just a different type of funk. I'll say it like that.
Yeah.
But the 80s, it was like that was the kickoff. Like that was okay. Things finna get wild. Like, and we don't know how wild, but they're finna get wild. Everybody's finna have a blast. And I just feel like the fashion also, that's when people started peaking more in their fashion. It was definitely the 80s and the 70s because it's like, okay, y'all, like, we don't have to dress this way no more. Like, we can dress funky, groovy. Like, we can, let's put these colors on this that make our skin glow. And that's another thing I really, really love is the fashion sense of the 80s and 70s. Just, they also say food tastes better then because it's not as like modified and chemically processed now. So I would go back for the food. I would go back for the fashion. I would go back for the music. I just like if you see my room, you would understand. There's a Jim poster on my wall right now. Yeah. So yeah, that would probably be my time period. What period would you go to?
It's the 90s for me, hands down. Because me and my best friend, we talk about it every so often.
Really?
Like we're not repeating the same thing, but mainly for the music and then like just the genuine Black creativity and boom that we saw in everything. Like
definitely was the boom then.
The celebrities that came out, the different models and stuff, people who were just on regular TV doing whatever. Like it was just a time, and for when it wasn't like the BS and other stuff, like you said, we genuinely had fun, and it was safe spaces, and we had to worry about too many crazy things. Like I mentioned at one of my podcasts, like just being a fly on the wall to listen to some of these people in their studio sessions or not when they were coming out with some of the most famous albums that we know today, stuff like that. Like the 90s just had it all,
they did,
basically.
Cause
so that's why it's an easy one for me.
Def Jam?
Yeah.
Man, oh my gosh. That was probably the best thing like ever.
Well, no, you're the first person to say that, or at least I think you're the first person to say like the 80s, 70s.
Really?
So.
Hey, I love being the first.
If you could give your younger self some advice, what would it be?
Younger self advice, what would I give you? Girl, stop crying. It's gonna get better to take your time, pace yourself, stop feeling like you need to rush everything, and do one thing at a time. Do one thing at a time. Master, and don't say, oh yeah, I mastered it, I can move on to something else. No, master it and stick with it for a bit, then start mastering something else. Stay yourself, stay true to yourself, stay genuine to yourself, and stay open. Because I'm not as open as I was, and of course everybody is. They grow older, they get more conservative, but I'm like, even like sometimes I bite my tongue, and I know myself. It's just like, girl, you never bite your tongue. Like, say it, just say it. Like you never know the reaction. I never used to have bad nerves, so now cause like in high school I was actually the president of drama club. Don't know if you know that. But I was president of the drama club.
I didn't know that specifically.
But so I was never scared. Like I never had stage fright or anything. But when it came down to me first performing my poetry, I felt like I was gonna pee on myself. I felt like at any moment, like I told you, I could throw up in front of everybody.
Yeah.
But I never got nervous when I was acting, when I was doing theatrics, and I realized it just because like me doing poetry, this is my own personal stuff.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't just something I'm not reading for somebody else. I'm reading for me. I'm reading and I'm speaking for me. So, it came down to that.
Those are good, like, for real. But that's, speaking on that part, the music thing for me, the reason why I haven't technically had like an actual solo moment yet, even though it's coming up soon at my church, because I've been talking about it long enough, and I told our accompanist, like, hey, like, it's time for me to get there. It's just when it's for me, a whole set of nerves kick into my head and everything, versus me being a part of the choir and stuff like that, or me being a duet or like a quartet or something. Like, it's different.
It is.
But I don't know. But like I said, too, baby steps. I'm getting out there now.
Baby steps. Baby.
I'm going to get over it.
Baby steps. You haven't tell you so, baby steps.
All right, this is the last one. Try to read it as slow as it can so you can understand it, because it trips up a little bit of everybody.
Okay.
If you owned a library, what kind of library would it be? A music library, a regular book library, or a movie/TV show library?
Oh, movie TV show. Gosh. That was easy. Movie TV show. I just feel like, because I feel like all those aspects have their own like individuality and creativity about them, and like sense of learning. But with movies and TV shows, most of the time a book has not been adapted. A movie has not been adapted to a book. A book has been adapted to a movie or a show, though. So most of the time, whether if it's a book, I could probably find it in a movie or TV version. 9 times out of 10, it's not going to have everything, every single detail like the book did, but it'll give you the gist, so to say. And then also, minds are so wild. So it's just like when I don't have to put the visualization myself in my head, you're actually giving me the visualization. I'm like, dang, like you really came up with this. Because I just do everything. I also write scripts. I write scripts. So like and I think that's another reason I said movie, TV show, because my first when I first went to college, my major was film. And I changed it to fashion merchandising. And then I changed it again to business. Because all in all of this is just business.
More or less.
But I love films. And that kind of stems from me being from when, like, my childhood of watching movies so much. And like my dad used to wake me up in the middle of the night to watch movies. And we would make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or we would eat ice cream. And my mom didn't ever know about it until I got older. And I told her, I was like, yeah, and now I have insomnia. And it's his fault. It is definitely his fault. You wake a child up at 2-3 in the morning, like, hey, you can eat ice cream and you can do this. And we're just watching. We watch the movie. I eat the ice cream, fall asleep on the couch, and I got to go to school the next day. And you got to go to work, but you're an adult, so you can stay awake. You can make your body move. Falling asleep. It was hard, but I didn't complain anytime that I got woken up. I didn't complain. It got to the point where I was just literally awake already. I'm just waiting on him to come get me. But I've been a movie. I can binge watch anything all day if I really get into it. Honestly, like, I can't even tell you how many nights I've just started a new series, and now I'm just up. Now I'm just up watching it, and now suddenly it's daylight. How? But yeah, like, I've been binge watching. My show of lately has been The Good Doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't get into Grey's Anatomy and all that. That's too deep.
I was never a fan.
That's too deep. It's too many seasons. It's a lot going on.
Well, that
The Good Doctor, it caught my attention because he has autism. Yeah, it caught my attention, and just seeing him grow, it's just like, dang, bro, I can't stop watching. Like, I really want to see if you become like fully able, you know? So yeah, that's my binge watch right now. And for some reason, I've been watching thrillers a lot as far as movies lately, and I'm not a scary person. Like, I hate scary movies. I hate pop outs. Don't do that to me. No, 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 no.
Well, thrillers are a little
Yeah,
different. Like,
thrillers.
I like
They're
thrillers,
more
but I'm not a scary horror movie person.
yeah, like, but it's like certain things. Like, I don't want to say I can't do blood and all that. I can do blood and all
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
but it's like, ugh, I don't know. It can't get too gruesome. I'll say it like that. I gotta be real weary. I can't be But yeah.
That was the quickest answer to that question, though.
Really?
Usually everybody has to think for a minute. So.
Hey, I think I did great. I gotta cut that part out.
LOL. I mean, I'm gonna have to think about that one. Be honest, I'm gonna have to think about that one.
Oh, my friends watching this. They're gonna be like, "Here she go with that whipping." She go doing that.
See, that's the originality. That's the uniqueness
there you go.
about it.
I'm gonna be doing that until I'm 60 years old, probably.
You gotta have one thing that you stick with.
There you go.
Well, Sadè, I want to thank you for giving me some of your time today and being able to share some of your story and some of your experiences. I certainly appreciate it.
I appreciate you. I thank you for having me. I had such a great time. Like, I can't believe. I feel like it was just a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we were really just catching up. Like, it felt really nice. My heart feels nice.
Hey, that's part of the goal of it. Like,
but I enjoy it.
I didn't say that at the beginning, but it's at the end of the day, it's basically a conversation.
I'm gonna send my people to you. I hope you know that too. By the way,
I was gonna mention it afterwards, but
okay.
I'm definitely it's on my list to get the whole group collective as together. But I'm still thinking about how I want to do the individuals yet. But that since I got the president, it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. You got direct line, direct contact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just let me know.
I will. All right, y'all. This is More Defined. I will see y'all next time.